ladies and gentlemen, Pittsburgh Pirates ace, Paul Skenes. What's up, pal?
What's up, guys?
How do you feel about the gas station? And maybe gas has two S's in it, too. You know what I mean? So it's like the gas station, because you're throwing gas and you have that massive ass that the Pirates posted on social media. How do we feel about it? We working with it? We brainstorming still? Do we got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I see what you're doing there, and I don't mind it.
Okay.
I never heard that one.
Okay, the gas station. Because guess what's coming?
Runs out.
Premium. All right, let's talk about your debut with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Obviously, we all watched 7 strikeouts. You pitched for 4 innings. 1 run against you, left 2 on. That goes in. ERA is what it is, but they're talking about historic debut for you. What were your feelings? I don't know if you saw. All of Pittsburgh loved what they saw from you, from what we're gathering from our friends back there. How were you feeling when you got out there, and what was it like your first day in PNC?
Yeah, it was cool. That was my, first time being in the stadium for a game, in the dugout for a game. And walking out there and getting the crowd into it and all that. Like it was just cool from, surreal just from the beginning. It was an awesome day.
Okay. Was there any nerves? Like when you're warming up there and Q Country Roads is, hey, come and take me home. What a banger. But I learned of that from your playoff song. He's from Morgantown, West Virginia. I went to WVU. So, I should have known about that song as a banger. But there's people recording your warm-up, and that song's playing, and I'm watching the video. I'm like, what a perfect warm-up song. Are you taking it all in? Are you in a different world? What is it like whenever you're doing your warm-ups there for your first Major League game?
Yeah, hearing the song, I thought about that for a while. Thought about the song I was going to use, and that's the song I'll use going forward. And I didn't really think about what the moment would be like, but warming up and hearing that and the crowd and everything, it was really cool. I wasn't trying to take it in too much, just because I feel like that can get you kind of out of it a little bit. But looking back, that was a really cool moment.
Hell yeah! Go ahead, AJ.
What's it like trying to get comfortable, pitching to many different catchers, I guess, and just the logistics of being called up? Here you go, opening day. I assume you haven't really pitched too much to any of the catchers there on the big league roster. What's that like? Is it tough? I know some guys are very particular about what they want their catchers to do and how they want them to be.
Yeah, there are a lot of conversations that go into that. And Grandal is the guy who caught me. And I had a lot of conversations with him in spring training, when I was around him. And then, kind of silver linings a little bit. He was on a rehab assignment in AAA earlier this year, which you never want to see. But being able to get that, that experience with him, I threw to him. I talked with him about what I was thinking and targets and that kind of thing. So it wasn't the first time I'd thrown to him. And we had a little bit of a rapport going into the game.
Paul, I'm so happy you're in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization.
Yeah.
I am so happy. I don't know if you know this. I was not a baseball fan. When I was born, to the time I had a brain, all the way through having memories, the Pirates were terrible at baseball. The only thing it was going to PNC Park, and hopefully, if they win, that's a huge plus.
Yep.
Huge plus. And then we get Zambelli fireworks afterwards. Ooh. Now, people are like, wait a second. This could be something special, especially with you and a young group sparking it. Go ahead, Tone, Pirates fan.
Yeah, Paul, you and Jared Jones, the Hondo boys, also a rookie, also has been incredible and started the season up with the club. Are you guys leaning on each other? How much did you talk to him before your first start, since he had his first start also this year? What's the relationship like between you two?
Yeah, I didn't know him too well before this offseason, really. And it's kind of grown into a pretty good friendship pretty quickly. We were together for most of spring training while I was in big league camp, and obviously this is his first go around too. With being in the big leagues and everything, but he's done it for a month and a half longer than I have. So being able to pick his brain about what the vibe's like and the expectations and everything like that for a guy who's been there, done that a little bit, it's awesome.
I know it might be a little bit different right now on the screen because you're looking at a grown-ass man. But aside from, I don't know if you're a little scared right now. You know what I mean? I don't know if you're a little scared right now. I'd even flex your tricep a little bit.
Yeah.
Let you know that, let you know that the horseshoe is working. He's pumped. Don't you even think about letting anything hang. But aside from that, is there anything else? Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Paul, obviously it's only been one start. But in terms of just like adjustments or, like the differences, like what did you notice the biggest adjustment or difference was from pitching in AAA to being in the bigs?
I don't know. And I think to an extent, I don't want to call that outing a wash, but like it's such a different and like interesting outing, just because there's so much other stuff going on there that it's a little bit hard to kind of drown it all out. Like a major league debut is a major league debut. And so I don't know exactly what in terms of like the adrenaline and everything there, it's so hard to kind of drown it out. The hitters are definitely better. You have to be finer for sure in terms of how you attack them and that kind of thing. But I don't know. You'll probably have to give me a couple more outings for me to give you a definitive answer on that.
I appreciate everything. Like the way you go about doing your business is hilarious. I've told this story a couple times to people back in Pittsburgh who went and watched you and were like, hey, this dude is as advertised. That is what this dude is just, and I tell him like, yeah, all ball too. Like this guy is just all baseball. You only want to get better and better, it feels like. From when we talked to you whenever you were here, we told you about the Indianapolis Zoo, which is beautiful, which is literally right next to the ballpark in which you were playing at for the Indianapolis Indians. And you didn't even know it existed because literally you throw balls and then you were napping. And then Livvy, the video announcing your reaction is when you both wake up from a nap and realize that he's now in the majors. It's like this dude literally just sleeps and does baseball. Is that the mindset for what, your whole life? Like why do you think you're like this? And is this going to be how you are, you think, for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I don't know. And I think that I'm young and like, the cool thing about being here is there, 35-year-olds who have played for a while in the big leagues, and they all kind of say the same thing. It's like you can't just be ball and sleep, like kind of how I am right now. But I think I'm young enough and like new enough to it to where I can get away with it and be fresh every day and show up with a fresh mind and that kind of thing. I don't think that's how it's going to be forever. People always say, do you golf or anything like that? I'm like, I don't golf. I don't see myself golfing ever, but I know I got to pick something up at some point.
At some point, they tell me I got to do a hobby. Do you play cards? I'm starting to. Yeah,
okay. That's a good one.
Okay, there's a little mental vacation, quick. A little refresher, and you're still competing. And camaraderie building. A lot of cards is a good hobby to pick up. I assume with the amount of time you guys are going to be on the road as well. There was something that took over all conversation of all the baseball nerds. D-Butt's got a question for you.
Yeah, maybe pick up some gaming too. I'm a big MLB The Show guy. Something I didn't know existed. The Splinker. I know not many guys throw that, and you do, definitely do. How did you get that into your arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of laugh when people call it the Splinker. That's a name for a pitch. Like, and one of our guys, Henry Davis, came up with that during spring training or during the off season when he was catching me. And it's like I've always called it a sinker on the scoreboard and Statcast and that kind of thing. They're calling it a splitter. And you look at like the metrics of it. It's not a true sinker. It's not a true splitter. I don't know. It is what it is. I literally just came about finding that pitch just by playing around and throwing it in catch play one day, and it kind of stuck.
What does it do? So why do they say it sinks and it splits? This thing's moving twice right now. Like I'm a righty right now. So what is this pitch doing? Is it coming towards me? Is it going away? Is it going down? Is it going out? Does it change every time? What does that pitch do that has everybody kind of befuddled, we'll say?
Yeah, from what I've heard, because I'm a low slot, so you expect the ball to kind of go, arm side with it, and maybe ride a little bit too. So what I've heard from all the catchers and the hitters that have faced me that I've talked to after is that it kind of just goes straight down, which isn't sinker. You expect it to go down and arm side too, and the way they see it is it just kind of goes straight down. Is kind of what I've heard.
You know, I would just bunt you the whole time. Bunt. Bunt. That's what I would do the whole time. Are you, hey, I don't know. Sorry about this. I had to step in a batter's box with top pitching prospect in the history of baseball. I mean, have to abuse,
It's a beautiful stadium.
have to abuse the situation.
It's a beautiful stadium, too.
Yeah, so I apologize for, kind of taking it in the batter's box there. And I did get a hit. I'm on base.
Yep.
So I'm batting 1,000 against Paul Skenes. It's right here.
Yeah.
It is right here on this entire thing. We talked to Sean Casey, the mayor, who's a Pittsburgh native. He played for the Cincinnati Reds for a long time. I think he played for the Red Sox for a while. He's been around. He's a hitting coach for the Yankees. He said that he thinks, and I don't know if you heard this or not, and there's people, I guess, throwing Mason Miller. No.
In Oakland.
Yeah.
In Oakland. He's throwing like 103, 104, I guess. Have you ever thought about what top end potentially could be as your body continues to grow and everything like that? And what do those conversations look like?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it. The one thing that I, do as best as I can is not put a ceiling on it.
Smart. Yeah.
And velo isn't, velo's cool, but it's not everything. And I think at some point, if you can chase velo as much as you want, but it might start to take away from other things. It's kind of how I look at it. Like, which isn't to say I don't want to throw harder, but I'm kind of happy with where I'm at.
Yeah, I think it's doing just fine, pal. Cannot wait to watch it continue to evolve. Speaking of evolve, the game is doing so technologically, but not in the majors. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Paul, were there any calls while you were pitching that you went to, challenge like you could with the Indianapolis team that plays baseball here? Or were there a few?
What's their name? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you guys know what they're talking about.
Indians.
They play next to the Indianapolis.
Whoa. That's their name. I'm just saying their name.
Good
You're not going to
Lord,
tell
Tony.
me not to say their name.
Jeez,
You don't disrespect their company.
Guy's got a cowboy hat on. But Skenes, were there any? Were there situations where you wanted to challenge them, or were you just kind of good with the calls?
I was good with them. I don't know. I didn't pay too much attention to which ones they missed or anything like that. You can see that after the inning or after the outing. In the dugout, but I like the human part of the game. There's no point you're never in the history of baseball has a called strike or a called ball gotten overturned. So there's no, it's just the game. And I love that part of it.
Yeah, you gave that answer to us about how you think framing pitches is a big part of a job. You used to be a catcher, which leads me to Jeff Passan's 2:30 a.m. list of questions potentially for Paul Skenes. Okay, so our friend Jet Passan warms up the Jet. He covers baseball for ESPN. We talked to him yesterday, and I said, hey, if you have any questions that baseball people would ask Paul Skenes, go on and send them over. Now, sounds like you're already on a good nutritional plan. That's a super alkaline +7, I believe, water.
High pH.
That's your pH levels there. Love what you're doing.
Smart.
Love what you're doing. Young age, take care of your body. He said, and on that note about being an ex-catcher, could you play catcher today if the Pirates asked, says Jet Passan, let's say there's a game. We don't want it to happen.
No.
Ever. But you need to play catcher. You think you can still get your big ass down into that stance and make it happen for the Pittsburgh Pirates?
Hit a couple home runs.
Guys, I've been on this for a while, and I was trying to tell our manager in AAA how good I was at catching, and he doesn't believe me. And for some reason, there's no video anywhere that I can find of me catching, so need somebody to find that. But I think I can. Nobody ever believes me when I tell them that I was a catcher, but I think I miss that just as much as I miss hitting.
Okay.
I think he won if I remember correctly, the John Olerud two-way player award or something like that, if I remember correctly, for catching and pitching, I think.
In which state?
I think that was
California?
No, I believe that was a summer league up in the New England area. If I remember.
the Cape Cod League.
Maybe.
Is that right, Ball?
No, that was the college season.
Whatever. Same
NCAA.
That was Air Force.
National
That
championship.
was Air Force.
Speaking of college season, did you really turn down? I'm not asking this question. No, these guys are pro now.
Yeah.
Pass it.
We're not talking NIL money. These
guys did.
Jet pass. Why are we going back in time? Spaceships don't come equipped with rear view mirrors. They dip. Only one other guy in the world, Joan Duran, throws the Splinker that you throw. How did you pick up this new pitch since college? I think you might have answered that, but have you talked to Joan Duran about the pitch? And do you talk to other pitchers about pitches that you could potentially add in to your bag? Paul Skenes?
Yeah. Funny thing, the pitching coach we had at LSU last year, who's the head coach at Georgia now, he was with the Twins, so he coached Duran and he coached me, and there's no correlation there, I don't think, with the Splinkers, but kind of a funny thing there. Again, the sinker, I call it a sinker.
Splinker.
Statcast, I think, calls it a splitter. Like it's just a name to me. And he throws his like 10 miles an hour harder than mine, probably. Like, so I don't know that it's the same pitch. I think I got a ways to go before it's, a splinker like his.
Okay, so okay. I appreciate the humility, and shout out to Joe on Duron and pitch and everything like that. Do you guys pick up will you pick up new pitches as you go, or will a ball just start traveling? For instance, Matt Prater, who's a kicker, I assume still in the NFL. I think he'll probably kick forever. His ball just started doing like a little bit of a slice, and I asked him, I'm like, how'd that start happening? Why'd you start doing it? He was like, it just started happening one day. Like, it literally just started happening. So now I got to play it. Is there like different pitches that'll show up whenever you're practicing that's like, oh, I didn't know I could do that with the ball? Or how do you add on to your bag of pitches?
Yeah, that's literally how I found the sinker. I was trying to, that was one of the projects that I had when I got to LSU last year. And, to start throwing a sinker, because having two fastballs is always a good thing as a pitcher. So I was doing that, and kind of like I was trying really hard to, make that happen, I guess. And I was throwing, basically the difference is I was trying to get it off my middle finger then, and I'm trying to get it off my index finger now. And I literally just found the index finger cue by just playing catch. And I wasn't fooling around, but I threw one off the index finger that, really dove, and I was like, all right, I'll just keep doing that, and I'll keep trying to do that. And I think as you come up with pitches, it's a lot of fooling around for me. You get ideas from other guys and what you see, but you got to just kind of fool around with it a little bit.
God, that had to be a great day when that thing just starts going. Like, think about Mariano Rivera when he found that cutter.
Oh,
what a day! What a day! I don't know how old he was. He threw it, though, and somebody was like, yeah, nobody can hit that. All right, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. Yep, rest of your life, you are good to do. I still think we should add the knuckleball. Something to think about, Paul. Maybe with your left hand. Get the glove that goes on the other side. You knuckle it with that left hand. Really throw him for a loop. Ty has a question for you, Paul.
Yeah, Paul, I can't remember if you told us whether or not you were superstitious when you were in studio, but have you locked down like a pregame meal before your starts yet? I know you're a big son of a bitch, so I don't know if you're eating, 15, 20 turkey legs, some mashed potatoes. A couple ice cold pops, maybe.
Right.
Have you kind of developed something that you're eating before every start, or no?
Yeah, chicken Alfredo before every start. I got some crap from some of the guys before my last one because I just had this, ginormous plate of chicken Alfredo a couple hours before I was, going to pitch, and they're basically telling me they wouldn't even make it out to pitch. They'd just be sitting on the toilet if they ate that before their outing. But that's what I do. Every outing helps me, keep my energy.
Yeah, roll the dice with a dump too. That can really,
Sure.
That can get you. That can tighten it up a little bit whenever game gets a little bit longer. Go ahead, AJ.
Paul, speaking of like the Splinker and even any other pitches that you have picked up along the way, how long from just figuring that out, playing long toss or soft toss with your buddies to, hey, I'm going to use this in a game or a spring training like matchup? Like, how long does it take to where you feel comfortable and think, all right, I'm going to try this against some live batters?
Depends on the pitch, I think. Because I started throwing my curveball during the season last year. When I went into the college season last year, I was fastball, sinker, slider, changeup, and we found pretty quick that it wouldn't be very smart to throw my sinker because that's usually a right on right pitch, and they were cheating to get to the fastball, so it was kind of just a bad speed pitch for them. But then third or fourth week of the season last year, I started fooling around with what I wanted to be a gyro slider because I was throwing the sweeper. Basically, I have something that was in the middle between my fastball and the sweeper that didn't move quite as much horizontally. So I threw a gyro slider my freshman and sophomore year of college and went back to that cue and that grip. And it ended up being a curveball, and locked it in about 3 days and started throwing it in games. Probably 3 or 4 days after first started throwing it. But that's not always how it goes.
Yeah, well, that gyro slider, though.
Oh, man.
Once you get that thing and then a sweeper comes by.
Game changer.
Holy shit, and then once you have it, you got it.
Yeah.
And then you have the knuckle.
Oh, yeah, with the left hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you need to start working in the left-handed knuckle. I don't even, are you allowed to pitch both hands? Same at bat?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Same at bat.
No, yeah, there used to be a guy who his glove was webbed on both sides, and he'd flip from, one pitch he'd throw right-handed, next pitch he'd throw left-handed.
Really?
I mean, he wasn't playing in the bigs. I think he played at like Creighton or something like that, and he wasn't throwing very hard, but he did both.
Gosh, could you, Paul, let's take this to the next level. Let's start throwing with both arms. You just started throwing a hundo with your right arm a couple years back, which is why everybody in Pittsburgh is so damn excited. This guy's just getting started in this entire thing.
Yeah.
Just getting started. And when you started, you decided you wanted to do it the right way, too. We learned about you donating to the Gary Sinise Foundation, $100 per strikeout, $700 already donated after his first 4 innings in the majors. And we would like to let you know, before you even open up about why you chose to do this, which is an incredibly cool thing, that the current record for a 9-inning game is 20 strikeouts, okay? If you get to 21, we'll donate $1 million to the same foundation for you. So if you get 21 strikeouts in a 9-inning game, okay? Because there's a 16-inninger in the history that got 21.
Pirates let him?
There's a couple. What's that?
Will the Pirates let him?
It's a new day, obviously. We're just saying if we get to the situation.
It's a perfect game.
Where we need one. Yeah, absolutely. 21 is right. We'll donate $1 million to follow this. But why'd you choose to do this? And thank you for doing this. This is a cool thing, Paul Skenes.
Yeah, thanks for the shout out with that, guys. It was something that we did. I worked with Full Devonner last year at LSU, kind of doing a similar thing. It was $10 for strikeout then, but it really, I was at the Air Force Academy for 2 years, and that had a profound impact on my life that continues now. I miss those guys and the people that I was talking with some people yesterday, because there was a tweet that came out about the planes that we flew to 2 away games, and so I got asked a lot about the Air Force Academy yesterday, incidentally. But no, it's just the people that you're going to meet there, the people that I met, and everything that I've gained from being from there is just unbelievable. And so obviously I'm not there anymore. Yep, that's the one. And obviously I'm not there anymore, but just trying to find ways to give back to that community that's done so much for me.
That's awesome. It's incredibly cool. You didn't have to do that. You chose to do that. There's a lot of people that say they would do that and don't actually do that. So you putting your money where your mouth is sweet. We'll donate 100 alongside of you, and then for every strikeout. And then if we get 21, 9 innings though. Hey, okay?
You got it.
Let's not be doing the 10, 11 inning thing.
No.
Okay, we can't be $1 million right on top of it. Keep crushing it. We're incredibly lucky to get to watch you do your thing. Can't wait to see how great you get, and thank you for doing it in Pittsburgh, pal, even though you didn't really have an option.